Hey everybody, and welcome back to another day of Pulsechain news. And of course, we're going to give a Pulsechain market update today. We didn't have any project news in particular, but just before the live stream, a project has launched their testnet one, and we're going to look at that. Barista, of course. So that is the project we're looking at today. So hope you guys enjoy it. I have got a poll up at the moment, and the poll is: have you joined Hex Token Discord yet? Get in there, folks, and vote. And of course, if you want to join the Discord, the link's in the video description. I'm sure one of the moderators will post the link in the chat there as well. So get into that poll, folks. All right. The other cool thing is that, we've got the moderators. If you're a moderator, just make sure, the spamming's out there. If you see some spamming, we had spamming in yesterday. I don't want spamming in the chat. Don't mind people posting tokens here and there. But when you're going to spam the whole chat with a project token, especially one I don't even know about, then feel free to remove the comment, put the person on timeout. If you see them repeat it, then hide them from channel. That's kind of the approach I'd like to take. So I don't normally talk about this sort of stuff, but yesterday spamming was pretty bad, so I have to address it at some stage. All right, let's see who else is in the chat here. We've got Sandy Beach. Good to see you, Sandy. And nice and early Sandy was. So a big shout out to Sandy Beach. Life beneath in the house there. Hello, how are you today? Very good, of course. I'm on walk day number 62. Lies beneath. I'm on walk day number 62. Targeting 300, of course. So 62. That's really starting to move it. I think the next 60 days is going to be really, really important for me. I'm actually still also looking to start doing some lightweight as well. So I'll let you know a bit more about that too. Health and fitness and crypto, a very cool combination. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, incentive for the 100% lies beneath knows the golden strategy of Richard Hart, and so do we. We are max supporter of that. We talk about a lot of other projects on this chain. Of course, we are documenting the Pulsechain launch, and so we'll be covering pretty much most projects to some degree. So not all the little meme coin ones, but most of the utility projects, bigger memes and things like that. We'll be covering all those sort of projects mostly. JB in the house there. Hello, Hex Token family. Sorry, I've been a stranger. Yeah, it's been a little while there, JB. Great to see you in the back in the chat, though, and welcome to the live stream. Great that you can make it back again. Who else there? We got Steve in there. Steve there, putting in the old plebs from yesterday. But, of course, please don't spam the chat there, and I think you can appreciate that. That's not cool. So thanks very much. What else there? Sandy Beach says, hi, Hex Token, everybody. Good to see you, Sandy Beach. Thank you very much, Sandy Beach. Welcome. We've got Godfather in the house there with J6 looking good. Love all those emojis there too. A big shout out to you, Godfather. We've got Adam in the house there. Greetings. Good to see you, Adam. Special shout out to Sandy Beach for always making me think about exercising. 100%. Sandy Beach is really inspired me, inspired Adam there, inspired Brian, our community leader in our Discord, really inspiring a lot of other people as well. And what are you hitting up? About 3,400 or something like followers on X, Twitter X. Really cool, Sandy. And of course, if you're not following Sandy, she'll probably post her link to her latest fitness post. And if that's something that you need to do, consider it and get into it like the rest of us. We're kind of inspired by that. There is the Hex Token Discord link there if you want to join up. Don't forget to hit the poll as well. Got the poll on at the moment in the chat there. That is Sandy's x.com link there for her latest post. So definitely follow Sandy on that one. Very cool. Maybe Sandy, I should start pulling up your X posts on a daily basis. I've just got to remember to do it on a regular basis, of course. But maybe every now and then, maybe I should start pulling them up if I get them early enough. Maybe I could do that. Hey, Hex Token. We got Magic Upright in the house as well with the coffee. Now, Magic Upright is the launch, has launched Barista on testnet today. We're going to be checking that out in full. Yes, in full. We're going to be looking at it for full. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Humberto as well. Yo. Cheers, Superman RH family. Good to see Humberto. Welcome to the chat as always. Hope sunny Miami is treating you well. Joey Torres. Hi, all. Good to see Joey. Who else is here? Harry as well. Hello, all. Good to see you, Harry. We've got Excavator as well. Hey, gang, from what Krabby Ron's? Is that some eatery or something like that in America? Let us know. There's probably some eatery there. I tell you what, Rags to Riches, he does these live streams from these restaurants and stuff. Always makes me hungry, man. Every single time. I know we're talking about eating healthy and all that, but man, oh man, I see him. He's at these like fun, American restaurants, and I'm just like, oh, damn, that looks good. That looks good. I'm sure Rags would have so many friends hanging out with him at these restaurants. He could do a whole channel on that, hanging out restaurants and stuff like that. That'd be hilarious, right? I don't know if anyone has done that. I don't know if anyone does. Come and hang out with me at a restaurant. It could have been probably blow up. Be a big blow up channel. Big shout out to Randy out there. Close to 3,400 followers, says Sandy Beach. Well done on that one. Yep, we're going to talk about Barista there, Magic Cup arrives. That is the link to Barista if you want to follow it. We're going to talk about that later in the live stream. We're kicking off with the market commentary first. Yeah, you may want to collect your bean as well. If you participated in the bean, collect your bean. I guess that's for the Magic Cup Ride Sacrifice. You collect the beam on the actual website as well, I think, possibly. So, yeah, we'll have a look at that. Sandy Beach is an amazing RX family member. Kudos to you, Sandy. Absolutely, Humberto. We've got Christian in the house as well. Yo, Pulsechain power. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that too. That would be amazing. Yes, that would be awesome too. Yeah, putting some posts up, Sandy Beach posts. Yeah, we might try and do that. I'll try and do that. I'll see how I can set that up. And hopefully, depending. Normally, you would post before I do live stream, so should work out well. All right, let's get into it and let's get back into position. Bam, there I go. And let's share the screen. We're going to start off with the stock market, get into crypto, then get into Pulsechain market update. And then, of course, we're going to be getting into the only project to launch, or at least on testnet today, is Barista. So we're going to talk about that in full. That is getting a dedicated section today. So very cool. We have covered a couple of times leading up to the testnet, but it's here now. So we're going to talk about that. All right. So we've got the stock market at the moment. Now, the title is really funny here on investing.com, which is, really left-leaning website, right? They're left-leaning too. The whole place is contaminated with these left-leaning sites. Dow tumbles as rate scare extends October sell-off. Well, it's not October, it's September. I'm not sure. I don't know who writes these titles. I'm not sure who is the editor, but there we are. Well, I actually got the author there. It's Yassen Abraham there, but I don't want to be too personal, so I've already done it now. It's too late. But anyway, extends October sell-off. What a September sell-off they're talking about there. And we've got the Dow Jones is down 1.14%. The S&P is down 1.47%, and NASDAQ down 1.57%. So a pretty decent day down for the stock market there. And some pretty interesting stuff. The lowest since March too. So that's the Dow. The Dow is at 33,600. So down towards March earlier this year. So down quite a bit there as we are in September. Let's have a look at the volatility index is up 12. So the VIX, as they call it, up 12% there. So pretty bad. And the US dollar there at 105.887 on the index. So stronger versus the trading partners. So basically risk off, right? Risk off is the basic idea there. We've also got West Texas and Brent oil up as well. This is the, one of the scares about inflation is the oil price. And of course, this is all self-induced from the United States current administration with terrible policies all around. So here we're at $90.57. We got Brent oil at $92.52. We saw obviously Russia and Saudi reduce barrels by 1.3 million barrels a day. OPEC is in the play. So the restricted supply push prices up. They make a ton of money, or you guys pay, and you can thank your good old US leader there about that, who's probably on holiday as we speak. So there we are. We got the gold at the moment, $1,919. We got silver at $23.10. That is where that. So it's sort of weakened off on the old gold and silver there as well. Let's have a look at some of the reasons for this today. We had the consumer confidence index came out today, dropped by more than expected to a reading of 103. 103 was the reading, a 4-month low. So a 4-month low, and we can see that they expected the forecast to be 105. They got 103. So obviously not great. So where's the logic here? Consumer confidence. The US has the biggest consumer consumption, around about 70%. Of the US is consumption. So the economy, the GDP is consumption. They are the big consumer of the world, right? Some other countries like China, for example, are big manufacturers. Obviously, they have a rising middle class too. So they do have a growing consumer part of their economy. But really, the US is 70% of it is consumer, And of course, the consumer confidence is talking about how confident are they. And this has actually dropped below expectations of 105. So this was seen as a negative. So consumption obviously flows, confidence flows into consumption spending as a leading indicator. So this is finally maybe the interest rates and things like that are starting to batter down on consumers. Maybe they've been spending through their savings as well. And of course, this is where we get a lower consumer spending. And of course, if your economy is 70% consumption, then that's a pretty downer for GDP as well, right? So this is the flow: confidence to spending to GDP. So that's kind of the flow there. That's why this has been seen as a bit of a bad thing. And of course, the stock market reacts very fast and often, quite emotionally about it. But anyway, it's not a 3% down day. It's not a 5% down day, but it is probably a 1.5% down day on this news. So that's pretty much it. So stoking concern that the consumers are beginning to feel pressure from the double whammy of higher inflation and interest rates. Well, I guess the real inflation that people are hitting is being quite high, but actually inflation is, in the 3% range. Is not that high, relatively speaking. But of course, what we actually pay at the grocery stores is quite different in terms of inflation, and that is still pretty high, particularly at the pump. Oil prices and energy, things like that. Food, of course, is actually relatively high. So I'm a bit critical of the metrics of inflation, but because it really is still quite high if you're at home. So official numbers not so high, but reality is that you're paying a lot more stuff for groceries and household bills and to fuel your car and things like that. And of course, if you own a house with a mortgage and you got a floating rate mortgage or you got a fixed rate mortgage coming up for renewal, interest rates are a big pain in the butt. I mean, it's just basically like you think taxes are bad, paying interest rates on mortgages where you've got an interest rate renewal. Maybe you're coming off a low rate from the low rate cycle, or you've got a floating rate. Then this is absolutely killer with the interest rates. And of course, so we'll talk about that too. Consumers whose spending was surprised to the upside for months. So we had actually quite good spending. Don't forget, people still had quite a bit of savings there too that are running through. Makes up the 2/3 of the economic growth, which have been shaken by ongoing rises in prices and potential of a government shutdown. And we talked about this on this channel. And that's why we talk about it, because we want you to be informed. If you're not really into economics or anything like that, at least you get a bit of it here and you get a bit of idea of what's actually going on, why things are moving around. Write-in responses show that the consumers continue to be preoccupied with rising prices in general and for groceries and gasoline in particular. So there we are. That is some of the rationale there from people that have been talking about it. The other big thing, of course, is not just consumer confidence, spending, and the impact on GDP, but there's also treasury yields and expectations around the federal funds rate. So that continues to be to the upside, unfortunately. Treasury yields remaining at a multi-year high as JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon talks about 7% interest rates. What? I mean, we've been talking about the SEP forecast from the last Federal Reserve meeting being a forecast for next year of 5.1%, and maybe the height of this cycle, the terminal rate getting up to maybe 5.75 with a midpoint of 5.6. So, 5.6 to 7, that's a huge jump. So does he really think the Federal Reserve is going to go that high? I mean, wow, is he pricing in some future things with oil and other things going on? Because that's pretty crazy. We also, don't forget, we have these instruments that people use, but we also have natural cycles in the economy as well, which can often recede inflation and recede interest rates, or at least recede inflation, then following on, hopefully recede interest rates as well. So we've got that at the moment. Treasury yields remained at the highest level in more than a decade, with the 10-year yield at close to 4.55%. That's the 10-year yield. Remember, the federal funds rate is 5.5. At JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon warned that the Federal Reserve could lift rates to 7%. Who's he been talking to? I mean, my goodness, that is horrendous. This is what we used to think several months back. Remember, we talked about this with some of the Federal Reserve governors talking about rates up at this level, right? That's horrendous. I mean, it'd be crazy. So I think we're at about 5.5. And so if you had the retail rates, as I understand, are probably in the 7s in the US. I haven't checked that recently, but somewhere in there. So imagine this going to 7%. You're talking about retail rates in the 9-10% mark. That would be insane in the membrane. Imagine the amount of pain that's going to cause. Remember, the Federal Reserve has a history of overshooting. And of course, the last cycle of interest rates is the fastest in history, right? So pretty aggressive there. I'm not sure if the world is prepared for 7%. No kidding. No kidding. I just don't think US consumers and US household owners with mortgages are really considering that too. Remember the Federal Reserve talking about soft landing, potential for soft landing? They went from being quite hawkish about maybe a bit of a mixed bag landing and sort of in the middle zone, and then they started talking about maybe a soft landing. Well, this 7%, you're talking about hard landing stuff happening there. That's pretty bad. So we'll see. I asked people in business, are you prepared for something like 7%? The worst case is 7% with stagflation. So that is the worst case. So maybe we're a bit of doom and gloom there. I'm still sticking with the Federal Reserve at 5.6, but maybe our 5.5 isn't going to be the terminal rate. Maybe we'll get to 5.75. That's still the higher it is. I agree with Jamie Dimon here. The impact on people is even worse, as you go higher and higher. With the federal funds rate at 5.4, the extra 200 basis points, so it's not 5.4, 5.25 to 5.5, so 5.4 midpoint. The extra 200 basis points to push rates to 7% would be more painful than the 3 to 5% move, and I would agree with that. And I've been talking about that for some time. So the big tech has taken the hit of this as well, and we also see a slight pulling back of crypto as well. So that is pretty much the stock market there at the moment. Some pretty interesting numbers. As I said, we might get quite an emotional stock market now after we had that big rally during the year. So we'll see how we get on with that too, and how that flows into crypto. So let's jump away. The next meeting for the Fed is in November, remember. So we'll see how the rest of the numbers pan out. So crypto at the moment, BTC already had the death cross, remember. That was about 2 days ago, I think. We got BTC at 26,199, down a third of a percent. So still holding up. Remember, I think that the critical number to hold above is 24,800. So I really don't want to see us move down below that. Otherwise, we could have we're in a bearish market right at the moment, but we could have a full bearish scenario play out. And maybe we start to, if we tumble below that, maybe we start tumbling all the way down to 12 to 13K and all that sort of stuff. And of course, that means the ocean is falling in crypto, and all other assets are likely to fall as well. All the other chains, including Pulsechain. So we'll see what happens there. Ethereum there at 1592 is at the moment. That's actually up a 30%. So nice one, Ethereum. And I do think that Ethereum's, if anything's going to pull us up this year, I really do feel that Ethereum is probably the most likely one. We'll see how we go though with the ETF in October. That's probably the only news really with proto-dank sharding, really with testing at the end of the year, maybe pushing off proto-dank sharding into the new year. But really that really benefits the second layer chains like Optimism and Atrium. So that's kind of where we play there. The Bitcoin halving course, 17th April next year, and maybe an ETF in the first quarter. So maybe next year's looking particularly bullish, but we do have bearish scenarios, bearish drivers at the moment as we lead into the end of the year. So, be cautious, take your risk management accordingly. But of course, we have got plenty of opportunities on Pulsechain coming. So maybe Pulsechain is the better light, right, in terms of what's coming up. So that is crypto. Let's go down here to the Bitcoin chart here. I just realized I actually pulled this up. So we actually did the cross here, the death cross on the 22nd of September, Friday. So it's actually a few days ago. Actually, no, it was, what day was it? 83. Yeah, so we actually did it on the 24th September. So it was 2 days ago. So that was when we did it here, this red day here. And down we've gone so far. And as I say on this chart, this line here, 24,800 really seems to be the, got to hold that line there as well. We do have this angular support, but really this is the line. We want to defend that. Otherwise, we could see some of these bearish scenarios play out. So fingers crossed we don't get these sort of scenarios here, from Richard Hart and El Capo Crypto. And of course, these are slightly outdated in my view, but these views. But of course, we've also got Gareth Soloway, who's down at the 13,000 mark, somewhere in that ballpark, which is down here anyway. So and that's a contemporary view. So we'll see how we go. All right, so that is Bitcoin. Let's jump over to a Pulsechain and get into the news. Before we do that, though, let's catch up in the chat there. We've got a few people in the house, and don't forget to fill out the poll at the moment. We've got, have you joined Hex Token Discord yet? Yes, no, thinking about it. And of course, the link is in the video description if you do want to join. And of course, I'm sure some of the moderators will post a link in the chat as well. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We've got Archie's in the house. Good to see Archie. Archie's one of our TA specialists. So if you like trading and prices and stuff like that, Archie that's Brennan that does the TA. So Archie is one of our Intel. He does all the Intel. So if you like stuff around Intel like TRH and TYCZ and things like that, Archie's our man. So he's one of the people in our Discord. We've got Pac-Man as well. Bam, let's go. Absolutely. Let's get excited. What else there? Let's jump through that. Humberto says, anyone have any updates on the liquid lines announcements? Not yet. I think that's still coming, but possibly within the next 24 hours is my guess. Humberto, so keep an eye out. That's a good idea. We've got Wookie in the house there. Hey. Good to see you, Wookie. Welcome to the chat. Sandy Beach says house prices are up too. Yeah. I'm not surprised. In fact, I might talk more about that. That is the Discord there. If you want to join up to the Hex Token Discord, come join us. And I've just reformatted it. It's really, really cool. We've got 6 different chat groups. We've got a couple audio groups as well and video groups in there. So really getting there. As far as I know, we are the number one Pulsechain and Hex Discord in Discord. We got in there really early. I do believe that maybe people like Trayvon have Discord on there. But apart from that, we really were the most dedicated Pulsechain Discord in there. So we really do lead the way. A lot of other people have got their socials on Telegram or something else. So definitely a great place to be. I think Discord's a much better place for holding social groups. You can do a lot more stuff in there, well organized. So good to be in there as well. We've got an awesome community team there as well. What else there? We got Brennan said 7% would be ruthless for the public. Absolutely, Brennan. I mean, it really is. Your mortgage rates just go up. The amount you're paying out of your household, it's just like stealing money from you. Honestly, it's pretty bad when the interest rates go up by 1%. And if you're looking at 2%, that's crazy stuff. Almost a 1.5%. What else there? We've got Lal in the house there. Hi all. Good to see you, Lal. Who else has jumped in there? We've got Brennan. Brennan is our TA specialist. Good to see you, Brennan. Morning, folks. Who else has jumped here? Fat Sammy's in the house there. Good to see you, Fat Sammy. Welcome to the chat. One of our moderators too. Actually, he's one of the members now as well, but he's been working hard with the Pulse Bitcoin community. So big shout out to Fat Sammy. Yeah, jump into Discord. You will not regret it. Yeah. Who else is jumping here? We got Charity. Hope everyone is well. Good to see you, Charity too. We got Amanda as well. Hey, Amanda, it's been a while. Yo, time for a catch up. Looking to find what to buy. Hex PulseX, or should I validate incentive standing buy? Yeah, jump into our Discord, Amanda. Have a chat about that. Maybe some people will give you some comments in the chat there as well. But obviously, any of those are great. What else there? Oh, big happy birthday to Tin Top from Fat Sammy. So happy birthday, Tin Top, as well from the rest of us here. We've got No Cash as well. Sup, new here, first time on live. Hey, awesome. Neck Minute too. I like the Neck Minute name there. That's a Kiwi one. So good shout out to you. Welcome to the chat. And yeah, if you haven't joined our Discord, links in the video description. Become part of 1,250 members plus. And we all talk about Pulsechain and Hex and other cool stuff. So non-crypto too. Yeah, happy birthday to top there from Humberto. So nice one. All right, let's jump back to it and get into the Pulsechain markets. This is a market update, of course. Pulse at quadruple 0432. So even though the stock market's down and crypto generally is down a little bit, Pulse is up 4%. Nice, we'll take that. And PulseX there at quadruple 0113 is up almost 6%. Yee! Now, I think obviously PulseX has got the potentiality to snap back the most because it is down the most, right? But Pulse is 43% of sacrifice price, whereas PulseX is 11% of the sacrifice price. So I think if you're a believer in the Pulse chain, you see all the cool things that are happening, which we cover every day on here. You can see there's probably like to have some sort of elastic snapback there in the future. So it's just a matter of holding through the markets. Now, obviously, dollar cost average, all that sort of stuff. We do have some bearish market conditions around towards the end of the year here that we've talked about already. But dollar cost average, good way to play that out. So at the moment, we've got one Pulse will get you 3.81 PulseX at the moment too. That's another important thing. But of course, the cool thing I love to see is the buy and burn. And we're at 451.9 billion PulseX that's been bought and burned off the market from all the other things that trade on PulseX, which is pretty amazing. And it's great to see that. And that is 2.18% of the public supply, which is awesome. And it's just slowly burning away. And here we are, what we at the end of the day, 137. We're about to start day 138 on Pulsechain, so still very early by comparison. Really, really cool. And Sim token there at $1.12, up 5%. And so nice to see some green numbers here on Pulsechain. And we've got the supply over 12 million with the burn over, what's that, about 93? Yeah, 93,181. And Sim tokens burned through the TRH GameFi protocol from Jacob and the BNB Pulsepot team. So pretty cool. That's some cool stuff. We've got PHEX there at 0.8 of a penny, which is pretty easy to say. It's always hard to say when it's like 100th of a penny. We've got EHEX there at 0034, so that's pretty much up slightly from yesterday, but it's pretty much been stuck around that level for some time. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is at 1.14 cents. Not bad there, and PHEX there is up 4.38%. Pulsechain is the winner of the day out of the Richard Gold and Crypto. Let's have a quick look at the charts. We've got the Pulsechain chart there, and we've got a nice little bounce off of the middle of the Bollinger Band, which is pretty cool. And we've kept up above this 4,000 line as well, and we're back up at 4,300 with 4 zeros in front at the moment. So looking pretty good as well. We don't have particularly a lot of volume coming in at the moment, but we've got a nice little green day. In any case, more buyers than sellers, right? That's pretty much the answer there. And we've got 3 minutes to go in the candle. So 3 minutes left to go before that closes off. So looking pretty good is the old Pulsechain. What's the other important thing? We've got higher lows. Our low was back here on the 27th of August. We had the price at 3,300. We got a slightly higher low here on the 12th of September. That was 34.68. And then now we've clearly got a better low here, 4,000. And of course, up we go. Can we move to the next key marker, which is 5,000, and a super bullish move would be 5,600 or more. So that would be really, really cool. We've certainly got a nice formation happening here, looking quite good, and bouncing off that 50% on the Bollinger Band, pretty neat too. So look at the RSI, plenty of room to move in the RSI 51. Lots of room to move as well. Just slowly zigzag our way back up, Let's do it. We're also, remember, 8 weeks since the Black Swan event for the SEC. So that's good news too. I think 8 weeks is kind of, take the most of the biggest part of the hit. And of course, we've seen for the, maybe since the last 2 weeks, so maybe 6 weeks from the SEC, a nice rise up there, which is pretty cool. So how much work do we have to do? We've got a bit of work to do to get back up to the sacrifice price. And of course, also the SEC event price as well. We've got 132% gain in there. So that's just sitting there if you are willing to wait time out, I guess, and you're a believer there. That is the marker. Now back to the all-time high, of course, was all the way back here on the 22nd of May. And so we've still got a lot of work to get back up to there. But let's have a bit of hopium in here, and we can see that would take 567% is sitting there just to get back to the all-time high back there as well. So not bad. There's some cool stuff. All right, let's have a look at Pulsechain at the moment. Pulsechain, similar story, but actually looking better, right? Pulsechain starting to look better, and the snapback's going to happen pretty fast. Once it happens, it's really, you get left behind. You get left behind the old Pulsechain there, and I do think it's the best buy out of them so far. And because of the disparity between this and the sacrifice rate, so I really do feel that that's going to be look all the way up there. That's all the way you're going there, back to sacrifice rate, and that is we said 130% to I think we said 130% to the sacrifice price for Pulsechain. Well, 30%. Well, 773% for Pulsechain. So pretty massive getting back there. So that's kind of cool. Let's jump over to incentive token. We've got $1.12 at the moment, so that's a really nice little green pump here. We've definitely have some different structure in here too for the last 2 weeks, so not bad. Let's look at the ratio. Ratio at the moment is 26,000, so that's not bad either. So definitely had some nice little consolidation with a slightly higher low in here too on the old incentive token, which had been pretty much shedding all the way through the SEC event all the way down. So that's pretty much it. We have got more incentive tokens coming out of the Pulsechain farms. That's pretty much the case there. What are we waiting for? Of course, potentially the DAO limit orders, single-side staking, maybe some other third-party protocols. There's also a couple of other different ideas out there. We will see what happens in that space. All right, let's jump away to PX. PX here, looking really good in this chart. Obviously, we got hit here twice on this. We've had 1, 2, sort of got a resistance there up around the 9300th of a penny on PX. But we've got clear higher lows. forming in here. So looking actually really good. And, we had a good time, maybe 8 weeks since the SEC event, and the market can start to build up. And we've got most of our big protocols coming in front of us. So that's kind of cool. And any Pulsechain surprises as well, if we get something happening there. EHEX there at the moment is at 3300th of a penny, really struggling on the EHEX side. But once again, once we get a bit of momentum, maybe in Pulsechain and maybe Ethereum and Bitcoin start moving at some stage, maybe later in the year, maybe the EHEX will start moving as well. And definitely the upside could be quite good on the old EHEX side. All right, that is pretty much it on those. Let's quickly look at the bridges, not the bridges. Let's look at the validators. Validators have been making new records every day lately. 43,285. High confidence in Pulsechain. And of course, Pulsechain is the people's chain. You can see that people around the world are validating the chain. Pretty cool. And pretty much on every continent that most people live on, except for maybe Antarctica. But we are working on Scott Base as we speak. No, I'm just kidding. But we definitely got that happening. We got 1.39 trillion, so new high there on Pulse off the market, which is about 9.3% or something like that of the public supply. And that's looking spectacular. So really, really cool. And on top of that, of course, we've got EIP 1559 burning, the 4,096 validators with the 132 billion burn on top of that. And of course, we've got these liquidity forks coming up, which we're going to be talking about with liquid lines that could collateralize Pulse and take a lot of Pulse off the market. We'll be looking forward to that. So, and bring on stable coins and heaps of other cool things. All right, so that is pretty much on that. Let's have a look at the gas prices. We obviously came off the weekend and have a look to see where that is on the gas prices. We got 1 million beats, which is actually a bit lower. It's actually a bit lower. So this week has not been too bad. Last week was pretty high in the gas prices, as you guys all remember. We were getting up in like 10 million, 12 million beats, 4 million beats was all up there, and the prices were pretty expensive. At the moment, we got 1 cent for a Pulse X swap, 1/10 of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and 3/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. We're 380 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment, and to do a Ethereum on Uniswap at the moment, it's $5.26. And of course, we are true DeFi. Uniswap is not. All right, so there we are, 1,025 times cheaper than Bitcoin, and that's pretty cool too. And Bitcoin is super slow. Man, I had such bad experience on there when we were doing the BRC20s. That was pretty sad. I was just like, every time, it's sort of, really, it's cost me to do this and this and this, and take 5 hours for it. And seriously, get out of there, get lost, Bitcoin. All right, so bring on the Pulse chain. So that's pretty much it on the markets, and that's day 137. We're about to start day 138 on Pulse chain, so good news there. And we're going to get into the rest of the markets if it renders on my computer. Let's go. All right, so here we're in the second category now. We've gone from Richard Hart Gold and Crypto to the PRC20 price discoveries, and let's have a look at some of the leaders here today. We're going to sort it by the 24-hour percentage gains. This is my custom list, of course. I probably have to add a few more to this. Actually, there's been a few others that I probably want to add, but this has got a lot of the goodies on it. Treasury Bill and Teddy Bear have done the best so far on my list, 67% up today. Yeah, nice little pump there. Look at that pump on the old Teddy Bear, Treasury Bill Teddy Bear, doing pretty nicely there. These kind of odd, these particular pairs, but that did pretty well. Looking by the next big one there was Lido. That's up 15%, and Pepe is not doing too bad as well. So let's actually look by liquidity. If we look by liquidity, PDAI had a pretty good time overnight. However, let's have a look here on the 4 hour. This is the 4 hourly for PDAI. We actually got up to 1,530, which is pretty good move here. We just tapered off during the North American time, so you can blame the Americans and Europeans for selling down the PDAI there. And of course, we're down at 0013. That's where we're at the moment. So pretty interesting there. You think about it, you do have, people, if the Northern Hemisphere is awake at certain times, and then the Southern Hemisphere sort of takes over, and then maybe the middle ground in between. But it's definitely interesting to see the patterns sometimes. Sometimes it's not always the case, of course. But that is PDAI. Let's have a look at the hourly there on PDAI. PDAI has been obviously very popular. That is the structure of the chart so far. And we've got this little Fibonacci on here, and we saw that it actually bounced off 78.6 around the 9,000 mark, and it's bounced off that. So Is this really going to try and go for the 1 cent mark? Is it really going to do it? Has it got enough gas to get up to this yellow line up here, which is a little crooked? Has it got enough gas to get up to this 1 cent? We will see. But definitely, it's got a higher low in here. That's a good start. That's a good start with a higher low, and it bounced off a 78.6. So we'll be watching this as well. All right, that's pretty much it on the PDAI. Doing pretty well. Is that some of the highlights? Yeah, I think so. I think that's all we're going to talk about. Although I do want to talk about quickly Wrap Bitcoin. Wrap Bitcoin here is not bad as well. So there is the Wrap Bitcoin chart. Obviously, we had quite a history with the Pulsechain pulls and things like that. But at the moment, we've got this nice little uptrend happening. You've got there's higher lows, got these higher lows and higher highs happening in this structure in here. And yeah, a little bounce off there. Managed to hold this line here too. So not looking too bad at the moment. 110. We got as high as 123 yesterday, which big shout out to MV, because I think MV mentioned something like 123 or 120. So I think MV, you got that, called that pretty well if you're watching. I'm not sure if he is. And yeah, it had the potentiality in my view to get to maybe 130 to 150. I think was the number I had. Was it 150 at the top? No, 150. Yeah, I think 130 was the sort of the bottom of the range. Didn't quite get to there. Got to 123, which is closer to MV's range. Nice one there. Nice call to MV. But of course, we've got another green candle just started. Let's see what happens here today. So we'll see whether this can keep the momentum on the Wrap Bitcoin there. Now remember, it's not actually backed by Wrap Bitcoin. Shared narrative there, and we're going to see how it can do on the old Pulsechain. So those are some of the leaders there. Not a big percentages from everything else, but those are some of the highlights there. Let's go to the medium meme coins. This is our third category, and have a look at some of this. The best performer there, Hex Orange Address. Now, we've had them spam the channel a couple of times, but that is actually up 25% today. 35K liquidity on the old Hex Orange Address. Let's have a look and see what happened here. A little big pump there from the day that just finished, the day we just covered. So a nice little pump there on the price on the old Hex Orange Address. Ben from BitBoy there. I don't know if you saw the video of BitBoy getting arrested. I don't know whether it was just faked out, but the cop looked real. So he got arrested there. There's a lot more drama about that. Of course, we're no drama channel, so we can't really talk too much about that. Yeah, Ben token there at 9% at the moment, and it's got 11K liquidity. So don't get too excited if you're a big whale going to buy that up. That's pretty much it on those. Let's have a look at the buy liquidity. We can see that we're waiting for the 9-inch decks, right? I keep talking about it, but that's because it's really the kind of the next big thing for meme coins. We got where did the ETH go? It's up. We got up 2.5%. Paul Pleb is up 1%, and Pulse Dodge there. These are the three tokens that are from the founders of 9-inch, and of course that's up 1.8%. So it's just little increases for these three, but these are the ones that we're expecting to really break out as well. So let's have a quick look at these charts quickly and see where they go. Yeah, so this one here is sitting around here, humming around 42 cents, been local high of about 58 cents. But these things could really fly when the 9-inch comes out. We'll be watching for that. Paul Pleb, of course. Let's have a look at this one. Paul Pleb. Actually, let's go to the Pulse one. Yeah, let's go to the Pulse one and have a look at that. But this one here, Paul Pleb, this could really rocket here. Now, I prefer to try and get to buy this at around 3,500. It's currently at 4,100. I guess it's not too bad. But man, if 9-inch DEX comes out, it could really rocket there as well. I don't know whether they're waiting for the Fetch Oracle or not, but they've been delayed so far due to audits and getting their code up to scratch for that. So that's kind of the play there. Pulse Dodge, the final one there, out of the trifecta. Let's call it the trifecta of 9-inch trifecta. Let's call that 9-inch trifecta. Although I do think that SHIB and Pepe, obviously the top two meme coins, are probably going to do pretty well on that too. We got quadruple 047, and that has already had a big rally. Look at that the other day. Big rally for Pulse Dodge. I've been talking about it. So many of you, if you'd bought down here, which when I was talking about it, you would have made it, right? So you can go back and watch the videos because they're on. I'm covering Pulsechain every day, and I cover these charts every day. And I was just saying that this is super cheap down here, right? And I got pumped. But anyway, it's still, I think, still very cheap here at 0047. And I actually think Pulse Dodge is kind of the better one because it's not many holders. So I think that's kind of good to see that. And they're all expected to get single-side staking and BBC token support. What day that's on, not completely clear. Is it day 2, day 3, or was it day 1? And of course, we know that BBC tokens are only going to go to 9-inch holders the first day at least, is what I understand it from Hexy Bastard. So we'll see. We're watching out for that. That is some of the stuff there happening. Let's jump to our fourth category, which is my favorite one because it's the one that really values the chain the most. Is the utility projects that are launching on Pulsechain, and of course Barista and Magic Carpet Ride 369 in this category, right? This is the category that really adds the utility and value to the chain. These are utilities that people can actually use, and as opposed to speculating on meme coins and things like that. These are really, really cool. So let's have a look by percentages. The best performance is Daytona today. It's up 14%. I think Daytona's had a few new pools, if I remember rightly. Can't remember all the pairs that they've had, but I think they've had a few new pools there with some popular pairings. But they're definitely up 14% there. Pulse LN founder, one of the bridges to Pulsechain. I think it's is it 15 seconds to onboard through PLN. So you can onboard to Pulsechain. I think it's about 15 seconds. BNB and Bitcoin with the Lightning Network through Pulse LN. And of course, that's one of our sort of our bridge on ramp because of cross chain type of things. So pretty really important there around the bridge technology. So yeah, 13% there, pretty small liquidity. So really probably underplayed there as well. The other one, of course, is Fame, which only launched, was it 3-4 days ago now? Fame at 43 cents, got a sell-off on the news, but really is underpriced. And of course, we're going to bring up our Fame link as well. Actually, got pulled that up, but we might pull it up as well. Those are some of the better performance today. So, you know, we've got a couple with double digits and a lot of others with single digits here at the moment on the leaderboard. So what else? I think we're going to go to liquid loans. Of course, we're waiting for that to launch. So in the meantime, we're going to talk about Barista. But before we do that, let's pull up the famous one. Famous. Actually, we're going to talk about Fame later. We'll talk about Fame later because I'm already on Pulsechain testnet. So we'll go straight to Barista here. So this is the big launch. This is launched on testnet. This is a front end for Pulsechain, and so sorry, for liquid loans, I should say, on Pulsechain. And liquid loans, of course, being a fork of Liquidity. And this is from Magic Carpet Ride team, which is amazing. They're an amazing group of people, and they're building out protocols now. So really, really neat to see. It's Bean, a journey. Of course, Bean is their main token for their platform. And Barista is live on Pulsechain testnet. So great to see it reach the testnet there for public use. Go break it and let us know what you find. If you know how liquid loans work, then you will know what to do with Barista. Thank you. And of course, to Escape Web 3 there. So that's pretty nice. Don't even think I'm following them. I might give them a follow. Barista.mrc369.io. And they've got some docs there as well with the Gitbook info. So definitely looking cool. That is a pretty neat picture as well. It reminds me of the Jedi at the moment on Ahsoka. If you're watching Ahsoka, it looks like that guy of Ahsoka, doesn't he? The Jedi there is pretty good. It's just unfortunately the dialogue's pretty rubbish. But apart from that, I actually enjoyed it. My first episode I enjoyed yesterday, which is pretty funny. So that is looking good, and let me post the link to that in the chat so you guys can go and test it out yourself as well. But that is OKX Barista. Is a liquid line front end, which is awesome. Let me pull that up. So that is the link there, and you can go play around with that. Retweet it as well, of course, and give a Barista a follow. Why not? While you're watching. So definitely really, really cool. Liquid Lines, of course, going to be one of the top blue chip protocols on Pulsechain, and coming up there as well. In fact, rolling out some of the most pivotal infrastructure on Pulsechain is Liquid Loans, and of course Barista playing a key role as a front end offering there for that as well. So we're going to look at it. That is the site there. So definitely give them a follow and a like and all that good stuff. Share it around. Leave some comments about your experience, and like they say, go try and break it. That's pretty much it on there. Let's jump over to the actual site. This is the actual link here, barista.mcr369.io. And looks snazzy, doesn't it? I like it. I like it. It looks fun. Looks like a fun place. I could almost see a roller coaster coming across the screen. That's really, really cool. Anyway, you can link up here and join up. You need to have a Pulsechain testnet v4. Now, where do you find those details? I don't know where it is. Well, you don't have to worry. Get into our Discord. If you go to useful links, we've got a whole section on Pulsechain testnet v4 under useful links in the Discord. That's why one of the many reasons why you should join the Hex Token Discord. A link's in the video description, of course, is that you can get all the cool information that you need to do stuff like that. So we've got a whole section and the useful links under Pulsechain testnet v4, and you can add that to your network. So on your MetaMask or what other wallet, whatever you're using. So here we are on the homepage, and you can see it kind of looks like liquid loans, but it's got the barista flavor here, which is pretty neat. And as you guys know, if you go to Liquidity, there's heaps of front ends on Liquidity, right? So pretty neat on that one. And let's have a look at some of it. We've got the borrowing, we've got borrow USDL, we've got stake pool, we've got staking pool here. So we've got all the cool, stability pool and the stake pool. We've got redemptions, we've got liquidation, and of course we've got a knowledge base as well, which is going to open you up into the docs, which is pretty neat. So we're going to talk about that quickly. Before we do that, though, we're going to play a video. The video is about 3 minutes. I'm going to disappear so that you guys can see the full screen, but I'll be back at the end of the video. And I've changed the music out because just to make sure there's no copyright on the music, get pinged with that. So enjoy the video. This is a overview of Barista, a front end there for liquid loans. So there we are. That was the how-to video there for Barista, and of course, it actually I've switched the music out, obviously, but you can actually watch the original video with the original music on the actual knowledge base, which is pretty cool on here. But really cool, and a nice. The cool thing about this is the education about how to onboard onto the protocol and showing actually how to use it, which I think is amazing. That's we don't see enough of that, and so a big shout out to the Barista Magic Carpet Ride team for that. But basically borrowing as well is pretty easy. If you've got some Pulse, you can obviously get some on Pulsechain. Like I say, we've got all the links in the Discord there under useful links if you want to add Pulsechain testnet to V4. But basically, I've got lots of Pulse in here, hundreds of millions that a kind person from the community sent me once, I think it was. But we put up some Pulse basically This is going to add a really powerful feature to to Pulse, and the fact that it can be collateralized and you can issue some stable coins here. And of course, using the barista front end is going to be really important. Now, liquid loans, for liquidity on Ethereum, the original protocol, you put Ethereum and you issue yourself USDL, right? And of course, they have many front ends. There's many front ends on there, so it's great to see Magic Upright take the initiative to do one for liquid loans, which is great. So you can borrow USDL there. All you have to do is click confirm. I'm going to do that, and let's get some liquid loans stuff there on the markets. Now, I'm just on the testnet, and the testnet is super cheap. Like even Pulsechain is super cheap, right? But testnet's like order of magnitude. So we're just going to process that. Look at that down the bottom there, confirmation there, taken away of the confirmation, which is pretty neat. So I did say I was going to do pretty full coverage of this, or at least good overview. And you guys can play around with this, at home, of course, getting ready for liquid loans, so you have a good idea of how it works, which is pretty neat. So that's pretty good. Now look at this. I've got, let me just zoom in on this a little bit here, just for the video, but I've got now 222 million USDL. That's how you create wealth within the system, right? Could you imagine some of the big players like the Hex Godwell or something like that putting in their Pulse? Of course, being number 2 Pulse, with I don't know what he had, 800 billion Pulse or something like that. Could you imagine putting that in the system here and issuing out some stable coins? What a great way of exit strategy, right? I don't know, it's pretty good. But you could do that, and of course you could then flood the pools with these stable coins. Man, that's fantastic. As we know, crypto is about there's about 12% of the crypto market cap. So about $120 billion something is in stable coins. And this is one way you can create stable coins is through the liquidity protocol. You collateralize Pulse, you put it in there, and of course people will get USDL, which is pretty cool. And that may or may not have tax advantages for you as well. So pretty exciting there. So I got 222 million USDL. I could go on to PulseX, for example, and start buying up stuff that's in pools. Like there'll be pools set up between USDL and Coast, for example, the other stablecoin, USDL and PXDC, for example. So all the stablecoins have these liquidity pairings and routes to trade through those. But also you'll see them go on to PHUX, the balancer fork. You'll see them going on to a lot of other stuff, which are pretty cool. But the other thing, of course, you can go buy more Pulse with this, right? You'll have Pulse USDL pairs and all sorts of stuff coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that is pretty cool. Now, we've got US dollars. We can go to the stability pool, the next one. And we've got our dollars showing up here. Look at that. Working pretty flawlessly. Well done to the Magic Upright team. It's looking really good. Now, I could put, let's say I take 50% of that. You have no allowance. So you have to click here to unlock. Let's go do that and allow them to take out those tokens there. I'm going to use the max, and we're going to click next. And that's going to cost me a little bit of fees. So waiting for confirmation. Looking pretty good. So I'm just doing the token approval for spend, or the spend approval, which is pretty cool. So stability pool there. We've got a comment there from Magic Upright. Let's pull that up while we're here. Let's jump all the way down. Our stability pool is where the magic happens. Auto rebalancing liquidations. Nice one there, Magic Upright. So we're just ticking that away, waiting for that to go through. Hopefully I did enough gas on that, actually. I'm just trying to think. Has it gone through? It has gone through. So it's cool. Confirmed. Looking good. Now we can do 50%. This is 111 million USDL. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's go buy a super yacht. Let's go buy a super yacht with the USDL. That's what we can do. And I'll pick you all up. We'll pick you all up, and we'll go for a big tour. Big tour there on the super yacht. For 111 million USDL. Let's go. So we're putting that in there at the moment. What is it saying? Barista pool share there. Let's have a look here. So that has gone in. So kind of cool. Confirm. So really good. Now the everything's updated. Well done to Magic. Man, this is so clean. So clean. So really nice there. Your existing stakes there, 111 million. Barista pool share. Look at that, 15%. Very nice. Very nice. So we are real dominating whale here on Hex Token channel. We're dominating the pool. Liquidation gains 149,000 Pulse. Thank you very much. And we've got some loan rewards as well. They're going to come our way. Although the loan rewards accrue every minute, the value of the UI only updates when the user transacts with the stability pool. Therefore, you may receive more rewards than is displayed when you claim or adjust your deposit. So nice on that one that's on loan. So when you go into stability pool, what do you get? Pulse from liquidation gains, and loan rewards there. Those are the 2 tokens. Pretty cool reward system. Now we've got the staking pool. We've got a lot of details down the bottom, of course, the protocol performance. We've got the staking pool down the bottom here. And of course, we've got no loan tokens. So this is the way it goes. I have to go and buy some of them. Don't know if I've got any. I have got some on Liquid Lines, but I think they're staked on Liquid Lines. So I'd have to bring up the Liquid Lines protocol and unstake some of those. But we could do that. Maybe we should do that. Let's do it. Let me have a look here. Liquid Lines. Let me pull up the. I'm pretty sure I got some staked on there. Let's bring up the Liquid Loans. Let's go to the stability. No, let's go to the staking pool. Have I got any in here? I thought I had some, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm obviously wrong here. Maybe it's on another account. I don't know, but I don't have any. So there we are. I have to go buy some on Pulsechain on testnet, but I haven't got that up either. So we'll leave that for another day. Haven't got the Discord open, so can't go there either. Anyway, you can put your loan tokens there if you've got them. You can get them on Pulsechain, find them in the Discord under testnet v4. Redemptions down here too. As well. Redemptions are one of Liquid Line's most unique and important protocol features, which is pretty neat. And what else there? We've got liquidations in here as well. Liquidations will be fun. You can actually click the liquidation if it is ready to liquidate, and you can actually do that, which is pretty neat as well. And of course, the knowledge base. So very, very cool. Lots to go over through. And of course, the video tutorials there as well. This is the video that I took and changed the audio out, but you've got the original one in if you want to go watch that. You've got Bristol Bean claim here as well to claim your bean, which is pretty cool. So you can watch all those videos. And this is really great to see videos on the stuff. So big shout out to Magic Upright for doing that, making it really easy for people that maybe, takes a little, maybe they're new to crypto or something like that. You got the Bristol user guide, and this thing is in depth. Look at this thing, really step by step, really, really cool. Obviously, I could zoom in on that and make it a bit bigger, but that is step by step guide. Look at that thing. So really, really cool. They've got Bristol blog here as well, which is pretty cool. Understand Liquid Line Stability Pool. They've got their other products as well, Steakhouse, Bristow, and Steakhouse. So that's kind of pretty cool. So Steakhouse there is going to be a Hex staking pool. And of course, they've got Bristow there, asset marketplace for ERC20s and PRC20s. So that's kind of cool too. And of course, the Magic Upright protocol, they've got that there as well. And of course, they've also got their sacrifice details too. So that's in here as well. So lots of cool stuff. And I've got all the socials, website, YouTube, Twitter, and Telegram. All right, that is pretty much the overview. And yeah, I wasn't going to go much more than that, but that is pretty cool. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautifully done. And welcome to Pulsechain. We get all the beautiful UIs. How about that? All right, that is the Billy Pool. What else? I think that's all we're going to say about it. I think so. We'll leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed playing around. And all the links, of course, were I posted that in the Twitter there as well. So kind of cool. Big shout out to Magic Upright. Let's get into some of the comments before we get up to the Hex Daily Stats. We're 59 minutes on the hour. So let's catch up on some of the comments here. Let's see how our poll's going as well. Let's go all the way back a bit. I know where I got up to, so we'll find it soon enough. We definitely got up to Amanda. Good to see Amanda again. Definitely got up to Humberto. Are we up to Briz? I think we are. Hey, family, Briz is in the house. Good to see you, Briz. Humberto as well. Hit the like button, guys. This will help spread our message. Also share on Twitter. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Humberto. That's a great idea. Let me jump through those comments. Charity says it took me 24 hours to send some Bitcoin when all that ordinal stuff was going on. Yeah, it was a little bit annoying to me as well. That's why one of the reasons why I stopped talking about it less as well. Although it's good to be on the frontier of stuff happening in crypto, especially on Bitcoin. Vita's in house there. I made it. Smash the like. Definitely smash the like. What else there? Let me jump through some of those. We got Michael Fleming in house. Good to see you, Michael. Cheers. Welcome to the chat. Jump through some of those comments. Let me jump through there. Magic Upright says bean is a journey. Go through all those. Got some hearts there for Magic Upright as well. Result says Ahsoka more like a sucks. Yeah. Hey, look, they've destroyed, Disney and they've destroyed a lot of Star Wars, and they've done it intentionally, right? So for part of the indoctrination program, but it's there has been some redeeming features in that, even though the storyline, the dialogue's pretty bad. But it's probably a good thing. Imagine if the writers went on strike, it'd probably even be worse, right? Even be worse. But all they do is they have these looks and stares, and this is terrible. But some of the characters have some redeeming things. Some of them are almost good. Like they've chosen some really. Normally, I get annoyed by the people they've selected as well for the role. But at least in Ahsoka, they've got some people that I think are actually pretty good. There's some people I'd get rid of, but there's some people that I think are really cool. But the dialogue's rubbish, and the director's directing for them is not good. Like that sort of stuff is really to be wanted. But anyway, you guys know I love sci-fi, so it's been pretty disappointing with a lot of stuff these days. There's only so many times you can watch reruns too, like Stargate SG1 or something like that. Magic Upright says you may want to collect Bean before mainnet. So wink, wink on that one. So that's on the platform, on the testnet there. So you may want to collect Bean on the testnet before mainnet. I guess is what you're saying there, Magic Upright. So watch for that, folks. If you're going to go test it now, because that may be something of benefit to you. You have been told. The ticker's on the top and the ticker's on the top, and the token to your wallet. Looking for contract addresses, awesome. So it's fantastic on the Magic Upright protocol. Let me jump through some of those. We've got some funny comments about me being off screen there, which is hilarious. I like the music changes. Yeah, well, it's the stock music from the editor that I had, because I just have to be careful. I've had quite a few pings on the copyright with music, so just got to be careful on that. That's funny, man. Your music made me feel like I was in an actual coffee shop. That's hilarious. That's so funny, dude. And like Starbucks or something, that's what they'd play in there, wouldn't they? Something like that. No, I haven't been in Starbucks for a long time. Amazing, says Amanda. Yeah, I think it's done a great job there. A big shout out to Magic Cup Ride. That was really amazing. Testnet was expensive last night, says Magic Cup Ride. Testnet was expensive last night. Amanda says Auckland meetup in October, November, says Amanda. Wow. So if you're in the Pulsechain X community, this looks like it's going to be a meetup there. Amanda, you'll have to get the details into the Discord about that. You'll have to put the details, get into our Discord, links in the video description to join that. And speaking of the Discord, let's have a quick look at the poll. We've got 61 votes. Have you joined Hex Token Discord yet? Yes, 52%. No, 38%, and thinking about it, 10%. So we're going to finish that up probably shortly after we do the Hex Daily Stats. We'll finish up that poll. So get in there if you haven't filled it out. If you haven't joined, the link is in the video description, and of course, I'm sure the moderator will repost that in the chat again as well. Let me jump through that. Vito says, "Is BitBoy trying to channel his inner Alex Jones lately?" Yeah. Well, he's got some issues. I think we can all expect that. I think he's still struggling with them for some reason. Not sure what quite's going on there. But yeah. Our stability pool is where the magic happens, auto balancing liquidation. So that's the really key part there. If you're going to get a key takeaway from the barista, a front end for liquid lines, is that feature, the auto balancing of liquidation. So very, very important there. Nice work. And of course, the Bean token as well. Stake loan token in the staking pool to earn USDL, PLS, and Bean. So there's another piece. There's another cool takeout. So really big shout out there. So you stake loan and staking pool to earn USDL and Pulse and Bean tokens. So there's 3 rather than 2. So 3 rather than 2 is better, right? So there's a good incentive to use the Magic Carpet Ride Barista front end. Well said there. Thanks for testing it, Hex Token. Those actions get rewarded. Nice. Yeah. We got that in the staking pool. Very cool. Wookie walks the course every weekend. You play golf. Wookie plays golf. He's a golf pro. What else there? You can swap for Bean on V2 PulseX. Says Magic Up Road. You can swap for Bean on a V2 PulseX. So there we are. So you can pick up Bean on a V2 PulseX if you want to get that now. I forgot about that. It's been a few days there, Magic Up Road. Bob Wells says that's on the main. Bob Wells says hope from holiday. Home from holiday to get my time straight again. Nice one there, Bob. more videos incoming too, by the way, from Magic Carp Ride for the Barista front DApp there that you saw. Yeah, so you can go and buy Barista Bean now if you like. What else there? Let's jump through some of that. Who else has jumped in here? We got Kung Fu Tech. Kung Fu Tech's been a while, man. Kung Fu Tech in the house. What's up, Superman? Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Good to see you. That's all I can say. It's been a while. It has. What else did we got? Sandy Beach has got, what's that? What is that? Some red shoes? I don't know. Brennan says, thanks, Super. It's been a good show. Thank you so much, Brennan. All right, let's jump over to the Hex Daily Stats. Let's check out how we got paid, what we got paid today. And Hex.com, folks, if you haven't checked it out, you can buy Hex on Pulsechain or Ethereum, and you can then burn it for T-shares, which stands for trillions of shares, become part of the ownership pool and start mining Hex yourself, which is pretty cool. So we're going to cover the paydays for that. Let's go check it out. And, of course, we've got day 1,394 from Ethereum. This is Hex on Ethereum results, 26th of September. We got the price there at 3400th of a penny, up 2.7% in the price. Nice. And the payout per T-share 6.621 Hex. So you got increased price and increased yield, looking really, really good there on that one. And no change in the share rate, 29,524. The average mine length is 7.07 years, and the APY rate 39% is the yield. Let's jump over to the ownership pool. There's been an increase of 6,556 T-shares today. So we're sitting exactly, or not exactly, but almost at just over 9.8 million T-shares in the ownership pool. So there's an ownership pool and a reward pool. The ownership pool shares in the rewards. So that's pretty much it. Understand Hex. We've got the lock percentage of coins, 9.33% of all Hex is locked at the moment. We've got pretty modest penalties today, 141,000. The reward pool that I talked about has got 64.88 million Hex in it, which is pretty cool. And we've had one increase in liquid holders. Hey, we had 3 increase in miners today. Yay, on the Ethereum chain, sorry. And we got 120,031 miners. So cool stuff there. Get out, spread the word. Hex.com, folks. Go spread the word there. We haven't got the we haven't got Pulsechain out yet. So this is Hex on Pulsechain, but it's day 137. We've still got day 136. We didn't talk about this yesterday, but basically I won't go through all this from yesterday, but we had 6.595 payout yesterday. But we're still waiting for today's payout. So that's pretty much it on there. So Hex.com and Hex Daily Stats. You can find all these links in the Discord under useful links at the very top. So it's at the top where all the Pulsechain and Hex and everything is. I've reformatted and gone through most of the links yesterday to make sure they're all still valid. I've archived some of the older links that we've had over the, all the times that we've been testing stuff and this and that. So it's pretty fine-tuned now. I've still got a bit of more formatting to do, but apart from that, we've really, changed some of the layouts in the Discord. It's looking really starting to really shape up now. So a really great place to join. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's see how we're going there. Let's have a look at the stablecoins coast and see what that is trading at the moment. Pretty much around $1, isn't it, on the old coast? Look at that thing, beautiful. And of course, you haven't. If you want to onboard fiat directly to Pulsechain, you can use the Coast protocol and become your own bank. And we saw that what was the bank that decided to block Bitcoin and crypto with made up rubbish. They tell you what they're gonna. This is the problem with these people. They all think they know better than you. All these people. So Chase Bank, I think it was Chase Bank today. What did they do? This is posted by Christian in our Discord. Chase Bank bans Bitcoin and crypto. The biggest nonsense you've ever heard in your life, talking about fraud and this and that. And of course, fraud happens in fiat currency, right, as well. So, I mean, these guys are just nonsense, really trying to block freedom. These people, they're not really looking out for you. And they basically say, if you're banking at Chase and you want to send some money over into crypto to be part of the free world, they're going to stop you from doing it. They're going to block all transactions. They won't let you do it. And they're saying they're saving you. They're saving you from fraud. Well, fraud happens in fiat currencies too. So they just don't want you to be free and, of course, off the grid, right? So just typical stuff there from Chase and the big banks there. They're doing lots of bad things. The regime is on the move, and freedom is their number one target. They can't have you free. Free people they cannot control, and that's what they're trying to do. So be free, everybody. And of course, crypto is one of those ways to be free. Enjoy it. It's a great place to be. And Pulsechain is going to be the greatest. And Pulsechain is the people's chain. It really is. It's run by the people for the people. And of course, Pulsechain is leading the DeFi revolution. We are true DeFi. We're not like Uniswap or Match or something. We don't block tokens and projects out of the whim. This is what the people that control try to do, right? Getting rid of good old Russell and all that sort of stuff, trying to already attack freedom in the lead up to their complete control. So freedom, 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 crypto, 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 Pulsechain, Pulsechain, Pulsechain. You're in the right place, and spread the word. That's all we can say. Spread the word. All right, there's my speech today. All right, what else? Let's jump through some of these final comments. Don't fade the bean, says Magic Outride. Don't fade the bean. We got Valiant in this house as well. Hi, man. Stargate Atlantis is a fun series. Yeah, I love Stargate Atlantis. Shame that they axed that too. That was unfortunate. Farscape is interesting too. Yeah, I like Farscape as well. Yeah, quality DeFi, quality sci-fi. I really love it. But of course, you know, we've been under attack, so we've got to defend ourselves. We've got to defend ourselves in a civilian way, or whatever we call it, civil way. I meant to say. What else? There's so much quality right here. Thanks, Superman, says Amanda. Yeah, you're most welcome. We got what baby beans need care to grow, says Brennan. Baby beans. There's lots of bean jokes happening on here at the moment. I must give a hats off to Magic Upright with their artwork as well. Artwork has been so much fun with the Magic Upright team for some of their projects. Really, really cool. All right, we're up to 112 minutes, which is pretty much towards the max of the live stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. We've had a pretty good crowd in today. A big shout out to you. Some of you have been away for a while. It's good to see you back as well. And of course, let's end the poll. We've got 63 votes. Let's see what the poll results were. What drum roll? Do we have a drum roll? Have you joined Hex Token Discord? Yes, 52%. No, 36%. Thinking about it, 11%. And of course, the link to join, if you are thinking about it, is in the video description. And get involved in our community. That's what we want. Number one community. And we're going to do a lot of cool things in the year ahead as Pulsechain continues to grow and roll out. So join us, and you can talk everything crypto strategy, information, non-crypto. It's all there. Gaming, people doing all sorts of stuff in there as well. All right, Sandy Beach says, love the artwork. Art is the key to promoting Pulsechain, says Magic. Agree. Very good angle there. Good insight too. Love the show. Peace out, says Del. You too. Take care, everybody. Let's play out something from Richard, shall we? Let's do Richard Hart. I think it's a good time to be inspired from the founder of the Pulsechain. And let's see where we go here with that. Let's do the full. Let's do the full. Let's go to full hogs. Let's play the whole series. Let's do the whole highest of stakes. Let's go there. Let's go there. But before I do, I have to find out where they are. Let me find it. Just one moment. One moment, caller. One moment, caller. All right, take care, everybody. Peace out. Bye for now.
Richard Art here, welcoming you to the highest of stakes premiere. I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. These guys put blood, sweat, and tears for years into this project. Wasn't my idea. Didn't have anything to do with the production. Didn't have anything to do with anything. I was just in a bunch of scenes. Yay. I'm a movie star. No, I'm a clown. The me that you see in this film died, so enjoy it. Humble me is what exists now. What I wished that everyone would get is that there's only a few things in this world that can really change man's relationship with government, man's relationship with money, man's relationship with his time. Right now, we've got the highest inflation we've had since I've been alive, and that's 43 years now. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And we've got banks collapsing, and we've got bailouts, and all of the things that people predicted would come true, that are the reason that cryptocurrency was invented, are happening. You know, there's certain countries that you may not have been to that this is life or death for them. You know, high inflation countries where their money is worth, you know, half as much at the end of the next year as it is this year. You got to get your money out of those currencies. And the dollar is not one of those currencies yet, but historically, about every 50 years, fiat currencies fail. Like it's very hard to have a fiat currency backed by nothing that lasts longer than 50 years, it seems. And, well, dollar's been around for a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. You know, I feel that it's wildly important for you to understand that the future really is digital. It really is cryptocurrency. And if you can get around the gatekeepers, if you can get the word out, if you can get people to learn about something that could really change the future, everyone gets rich together. When you get rid of all the middlemen and you get rid of all the waste and you get rid of all the inefficiency, that value, it goes somewhere. And it goes to the people that deserve it, the people that believed. Enjoy the film, everybody.
Is Richard Hart. Genius.
Legendary.
Arrogant, bit of a narcissist.
The benevolent king.
$250,000. Hate me. I'm farther than you'll ever be in your whole life.
Whatever the governments have been doing, it's not worked out. You've never had worse interest rates. Your money has never been worth less. And the only thing that's making it better is cryptocurrency.
Crypto is money without governments, and it is money without banks.
You're not going to meet another product like this as long as you live. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to look for some fraud this morning?
They are promising 40% annual return.
Everything I have worked for is staked in Hex.
Good. I put it all in.
All what?
All of our house money.
No, I don't think that it's a scam. Because I trust Richard Hart.
If ultimately this is all a big performance art project, people are gonna get fucked.
So that means I should trust you.
Listen, I think you should trust me, but if you get into the habit of trusting people like me, you'll get the crap scammed out of you.